Does anyone want to do the intro? Because I have no idea what the fuck.
Joshua.
First, show and tell.
Ooh, we got show and tell. What do we
Are-
have to
are-
show to
are
the
you-
class?
Are you not doing that, Yusuf, or are you actually gonna do it?
No, you already just showed us.
Nah, he's frozen in thought.
Never mind. You guys don't get to
Hardcore.
see show and tell.
Hardcore stone cold stare.
The super scuffed intro is brought to you by all of our internet providers.
Well,
tonight we're going to be talking about Spider-Man No Way Home, the most recent Spider-Man movie. If you didn't see it, major spoilers. You certainly should not listen to this if you haven't seen the movie, because it was...
It was what?
What does this mean?
very good.
Oh.
It was good. Very good. So, if you haven't
B.O.
seen the movie yet, come back on our YouTube page, watch it on YouTube after you've seen the movie. Come on back. Or if you don't care about spoilers, then I guess you do you. But
Yeah, if you're definitely a fan of Spooderman, not Spider-Man, definitely watch the movie without spoilers. It's definitely a really great experience. So, with that disclaimer aside, we're going to spoil the shit out of this movie, so you've been warned. If you have to bitch at anyone, bitch at Mitch, because fuck you.
Fuck?
What?
let him know how upset you are in the comments down below.
Yeah, look at him. He can take it, right?
You can find us at This Episode Podcast on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's all right. You guys can talk as much shit as you want about him. Nothing will take away from the happiness he feels from this nice.
Now it's show and tell time.
hoodie.
Bro, it's like that
That's
would
a
fit.
thick.
That would
That's
fucking
thick.
fit an
that he,
elephant,
he
bro.
wanted.
That would fit a fucking elephant.
Wow.
There's no shot that's gonna fit me, dude.
Dude, it's going to be great. What do you mean?
You have to reach out to that Etsy seller and be like, "Ayo,
Ayo,
we need a check."
you overestimated me.
Hey, yo, bro, where the pizza
Yeah,
at?
so if you guys don't see Mitch
What
wearing
the
this
dog
next
doing?
episode, you have to definitely give him some shit.
Okay, whatever. Let's talk
Just
about
do it
fucking
anyway.
Spider-Man.
No. Was that a female, like, size hoodie, too? Like,
Yes.
how'd the sizes go?
Yeah, so like it's only made in women's size. So all the comments are like, if you're getting it for a guy, for whatever reason, you should
Go up
order
a
a
size,
size.
a little
You should
bigger.
order a size up. So I was like, okay, we're going for an XL. Let's do 2X, and I guess I must have hit like 6X because we got a truck cover sent over to us.
Maybe she thought that because you talked to the Etsy shop, like the person, right?
I didn't necessarily talk to them. I sent them a custom message, and I was like, hey, I'm ordering this for my buddy. He's a guy. He wants an XL. So if the size, like, just make the size that's appropriate for it, you know? But,
Yeah, I don't know. It's whatever.
yeah.
Yes, Alex, I did know that porn stars stream.
That's promoting
what?
that's against premarital.
I don't know what that means.
Terms of service.
Yeah.
Unless it's a hot tub stream. But anyway, Spider-Man No Way Home. What do you guys want to talk about first? Since now we've lifted the spoiler cover. Go for it.
Yeah, he dies. Yeah, you didn't expect that, huh? Yeah, that's how the movie fucking ends.
there's
Everyone
one-
dies. They did Infinity War again. There you go.
The snap wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
I just want to start off with I felt like I was watching a fan-made movie the entire time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Alex.
Did you feel
Full,
like it was good or a
full
bad thing?
disclaimer: we're spoiling Spider-Man, so if
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't want to
Alex,
watch
if you
this
haven't-
shit,
If you haven't seen it, you might want to leave, Alex, because
yeah,
You definitely want to leave.
we're
yeah,
gonna be spoiling it all.
yeah, we're gonna spoil the shit out of it. We're doing another disclaimer because this guy's a dipshit.
Yes. And because
Let's
it's
talk
such
about
a good
porn
He's
stars.
movie,
seen it. He's seen it.
But if
No,
you
he
haven't
hasn't. He's
seen it
lying.
for the first time yourself, you should just do that.
No, go
And then
rewatch
listen to
it
us.
and then come back and then leave a like and comment and share.
He's-
Watch your
Anyways.
language. All right, someone time it out. Alex,
Okay,
time yourself
Mitch,
out.
Mitch, did you feel like that was a good thing or a bad thing?
yeah,
that you
it
felt like
felt-
it was a fan film.
The entire time I was like, watching the first trio, the first trilogy, then watching Amazing Spider-Man, and then when the big bad Disney bought the rights to Spider-Man. I was like, all right, they're never going to acknowledge the other two series. I never, in my wildest dreams, thought that would ever happen, and it happened. It felt like I felt. Like, huh?
So
What?
wait, so Disney bought Spider-Man, or does Sony still own it? Because
I
I thought
don't-
that was,
it's
I
like
thought
a-
that, I thought that
it's
was
like
like,
a-
I thought they just
It's a
like signed an
partnership.
agreement, like, hey, you can
Yeah,
use Spider-Man, you just got to pay us fucking unlimited money, pretty much.
It's a partnership.
Disney has the custody on the weekends.
Yeah, that's
No.
why like the Spider-Man movies aren't on Disney Plus because Sony still has a big enough of a ownership, or I honestly don't even know all the ins and outs either. But they have enough of an ownership to make it so that Disney can't just like put those movies out on Disney Plus now, even though it's officially like a Marvel movie and stuff.
It's in the MCU. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's in the MCU. Sony still has a big enough of a pull. And honestly, at this point, they're not going to give up their golden egg. or
Oh,
golden
dude, there's
goose.
no shot they get rid of Spider-Man. There's no way they're gonna go against that.
Disney would have to shell out an unlimited amount of money, and even then, it probably wouldn't be enough because now it's like I think number 7 or something like that on the highest-grossing films of all time.
Really?
I'm gonna
Already?
go look it up. It passed Titanic,
Holy shit!
so that tells you something.
What? Wait. Oh, I know it made like over 1.4 billion, I think.
Has it passed Endgame? Well, it's
I'll
not
look
as
up
good as
highest-grossing
Endgame, right?
films real quick.
Endgame's number 1, I think, right?
It
Avatar,
was, I
because
think.
they re-released Avatar in
Yeah.
China for some reason, so Avatar got bumped back up.
Well, they mentioned they're making a sequel to that, so they probably wanted to get more. They wanted to squeeze more out of that movie.
Yeah, that's coming out this year.
Yeah.
The sequel to Avatar.
Supposedly, it's been pushed back a bit.
Yeah. All right, let's just talk about
Well,
Spider-Man.
The one thing I was super excited about going into this movie is that each of the Spider-Man movies really related to a different movie in the MCU. They never like directly related from a past Spider-Man movie. Like Homecoming was the result of Civil War, and then Far From Home was a result aftermath of Endgame. So this was the first Spider-Man in this current trilogy where this is actually a direct sequel of a previous Spider-Man movie with like a direct result from the previous one. So that's what I was excited about, not having so much goddamn, other MCU characters in there, So that's what kind of annoyed me about Homecoming. It was definitely an Iron Man show, and then Far From Home. I mean, I think that movie had its own problems, but
Yeah.
at least with this one, I was hoping that Spider-Man could do a lot on his own. But I mean, Doctor Strange was pretty much there for a couple times,
Long.
but then he got put in the bench.
Okay.
I liked that the movie picked up right where we left off in No Way Home.
Literally,
It didn't
right
feel
where
like it was like that there was a bunch of exposition needed. It's just like you either saw it and you remember, or you don't figure it out. And I especially love the fact that, again, not only that it picked up right where it left off, but that it didn't feel like we missed a beat. Like it was just right into things being like fun and exciting and interesting right from the get go. And I remember turning to the person that I went with and just being like, "This is great!" Right in the first like 6 minutes, I was like, "Oh, this is already good. I'm loving this already."
Yeah, it was really good.
I did love how they spent time actually showing like the consequence from the previous movie. Like, they get back to their apartment and they have choppers swarming the entire area. Everyone's freaking out. Happy's like, "What the fuck, mate? Why fucking leave me? I'm supposed to be fucking happy." Nah.
And in the first, or at the end of the first film, we have May walking in on him changing out of his costume, and then in the beginning of this one, we have him walking in on him changing out of his costume in front of MJ.
Oh, I didn't see nothing. I
Not
didn't
what it
see
looks
nothing.
like. It's not what it looks like.
Yeah, I
So,
I just don't understand why the hell he was swinging with MJ the entire time,
Well,
like
because-
they recognized her right away, like, "Oh, you're Spider-Man's girlfriend," and I'm like, that makes sense at the beginning when he was like standing on like what was it, a light pole
Lamp
or
post or
something?
something.
Yeah, and then everyone started to surround like MJ, like, "Oh my god, you Spider-Man's girlfriend or some shit," and then like it makes sense there that the people would surround her. But it's like, why wouldn't you just like go down like a couple blocks and then just drop her off so you guys don't have to spend time swinging together?
Because if her face is all over national, like international news, if someone sees her, they're gonna.
All I saw was Peter's face. What do you mean?
Well, they started taking pictures.
They started
of her
showing Ned
like, right
and
away.
then her. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
well,
why
Ned wasn't there.
Well, yeah, Ned wasn't there,
Yeah.
but his face was being shown all over international news.
No, they did that because they wanted to show her screaming and then like them freaking out that she was on a bridge, and then they wanted to have that gag scene with Happy.
Sure.
You know, that's
Right,
like that's
so
a lot of
there's-
a lot of scenes in the MCU though. They do stuff that, I mean, to me doesn't make sense just to set up a gag.
Yeah, and Alex has a good point too. As soon as they saw them, they started recording and posting all over TikTok and YouTube. And
Well,
Facebook
Alex
and
isn't
shit.
here. He doesn't exist. He's just text. That could be a bot for all we know.
We're having chat interaction. Don't
Alex,
hate on
time
it.
yourself out.
So obviously, then I would say the next gigantic big thing to the people who know who he is the introduction of Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil.
That was
being
cool.
Yeah.
Peter's lawyer.
That was cool.
He just
He's
kind
a
of.
really good lawyer.
I don't get it. I'll be honest.
I think you do you not know who that is?
No, I knew exactly who it was. I knew that was Daredevil, and they just threw him in there. You know, he didn't do anything. He was like, "Hey, your legal fees are done." Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Catches brick. It's like, all right, cool. Daredevil's gonna do some shit. It was a cameo. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. An
But I'm just
introduction
disappointed
into the
that Daredevil
MCU.
didn't do anything more to it. You know.
That's fair. But
That's from the
to
Daredevil Netflix show, right?
Yeah, to have someone from a Netflix series be introduced into the official MCU is a big enough deal in and of itself that that's really all he needed to do for it to be a bombshell. And it's only rumors at the moment, but the rumors are that he's going to be popping up kind of all over the MCU.
Well, then
now
and it
that
opens
he's
up
in.
for a show or a movie about Daredevil now in the MCU. So
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I personally have not watched the Daredevil show on Netflix because I don't have Netflix, but I've heard from other people that it is arguably the best Marvel
Superhero
Netflix show
show.
that they did. So if they made like an official Disney Plus one or whatever, and just in the MCU, I'm sure it would only be better.
I definitely loved the Punisher. That shit was dope. I keep forgetting the guy's fucking name.
I think I only ever hear that Iron Fist was a big letdown. But we're
But-
not here to talk about that.
No. I just didn't get the whole cameo thing. Like, what you guys are saying makes sense, but, like, when I think of, like, introducing a character to the MCU, I immediately think of how they introduced Spider-Man, you know? Jumps in with Cap's shield. It's like, dude, you know, it's so iconic now. It's like now we just have, you know, lawyer Daredevil come in, catches a brick, and we don't see him again for the rest of the movie. You think it'd be cool if he, you know, jumped in, came in with his fucking walking stick, and he was like, "Hey, everyone." No, same shit, right?
I guess that's the thing, is all he needed to do was come in and catch a brick and walk out. It's like that meme of like the guy with the chiseled face. He's got like a towel around his neck, and he's just like comes in, catches a brick, walks out. That's all he needed to do.
I'm gonna be honest. If they didn't show his walking cane, I would have had no idea that was Daredevil.
I recognized his glasses from the
actor.
from the show.
It's the
yeah.
same actor.
Yeah, I saw the glasses and I saw the actor. And I was like, oh, that's Daredevil from Netflix. That's cool.
The only
The only
thing-
Daredevil I remember is the 2004 movie.
Oh, okay.
That was pretty bad.
Ooh, isn't that Ben Affleck or somebody?
I don't remember who played him,
I
but
don't
the
remember.
movie was not great.
Could
so.
been.
Yeah.
I just
The
remember
only thing
him
I
and
didn't
Elektra.
super love. Yeah. The only thing I didn't super love about the cameo was that it happened so early on in the movie. I don't know why, but I almost feel like if it just happened later, that I would have been, or maybe that my reaction would have just been greater or whatever. I guess I was almost caught off guard by the fact that it happened so early.
They had to
But-
put it earlier from all the other cameos.
Yeah,
that
I
happened
know.
during the
I'm
movie.
just saying. I don't know why I'm necessarily saying that or why I feel that way, but I feel like it was almost lessened because it happened so soon. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I have a question though.
Still good though.
Why? I understand like they put, you know, Spider-Man on the limelight and making him fucking the villain and shit in people's eyes. But it's like, don't they have Edith? And didn't Spider-Man's suit record him in Homecoming? So like, why was he
just
ever
a lot
like
of-
in any legal trouble?
Plot
Yeah.
holes.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people like online were saying. Like, why didn't he just like pull up Edith and tell?
Well, it's like
her
they're gonna
and show the
like
world the
they took.
recording
It
stuff.
looks like they took Edith as evidence and shit, and odds are they probably did a
wait.
once over on his suit, maybe, right?
Didn't Mysterio's drones like have an EMP that like he couldn't use Edith during that fight or something?
He never.
She was
I don't
down?
think he ever used Edith. Oh, no, I think his
Well,
web
wasn't
shooters
she-
came down or something.
But like what? I thought his whole suit was down. That's why he had to wear the black suit, right? Or was that just earlier?
That was a new. That was
It was a
news.
new suit that he made right
Okay.
right before that fight.
Mhm.
But I guess
I don't remember Far From Home very much. So
That's fair. The other thing that a lot of people said was like, because in the post-credit scene you find out that the Nick Fury from No Way Home was one of the Skrulls that was just disguised as Nick Fury, so Nick Fury could take a vacation. So one of the people were like, oh, or someone on the internet said, oh, why doesn't a Skrull just pretend to be Peter Parker and then have Peter dressed as Spider-Man come out, and then they could be like, look, these are two different people. But I guess the only explanation that you can really give there is that Peter doesn't know that that was a Skrull, and I think by that point, those people are now doing something else and preoccupied, so...
Well, I don't think that would work because the footage that Mysterio probably showed them was obviously when he was saying execute them all. When he was saying that, he was wearing Edith without his mask on. So they can obviously see it's Peter in Spider-Man's outfit with the glasses telling them to execute them all. So that's like the damning evidence against him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you'd think there'd be some sort of recording that he can use. And, with the EMP you mentioned, I mean, he was able to deactivate the robots just fine using Edith, so you'd think it'd be able to record everything, too.
no, I thought Edith. I thought the only thing that could control the drones was like the mother drone. That's what he recorded him. That's the only thing that was recording was that drone he powered off, right? Like the drone that Mysterio had with him.
Oh,
I think it was just like a camera that he had on his
I
person.
mean, for all I know, it could have been a drone, too, that he set up. But I'm not saying that Edith was the one that sent the message. I'm just saying that Edith had this powerful fucking AI computer, whatever. It's like that thing's not recording it, I'm pretty sure Pete would be like, hey, pull up footage from when that bitch got, shot down. And then it's just like, oh, Beck was obviously shooting at Spider-Man. And, oh, pull up some old data from it. Oh, he was obviously doing all the commands and stuff.
Well, like, Alex has a point too. Like another question is not just about the drones; it's about whether Spider-Man murdered Mysterio. But I think it's also like I'm pretty positive Edith was not running, or she was not recording. Like she was down during that fight, so she couldn't record it.
No, Beck was giving Edith orders to fire the drones. That's how he died. He was like, fire all the drones, and he got fucking shot by his drone. So that's what happened. So Edith was up. I know they have to set up. I know they have to set this up, just so his life takes a shit, But I'm just bringing it up because that was my first thought. I'm like, why don't you just fucking oh, here's my receipts.
Yeah, I guess the best defense I can give is maybe like the people who confiscated Edith didn't have access to it because it was supposed to then only like be registered to like Peter, and that Peter didn't think of it because he didn't even think of calling MIT before going to Doctor Strange. So he's got a very one-track mind as soon as everything went wrong, I guess.
Here's a question I actually have just about Peter Parker in general, and like just Spider-Man, not the MCU Spider-Man, just Spider-Man in general. Does the spider bite give Peter like superhuman intelligence, or is he just a smart kid?
No, he's just smart.
He's just a smart kid.
Okay. It's like he was doing some like Stark Industry level technology in this movie.
Yeah, he's just really smart.
Okay.
even though he doesn't know that he can call the fucking professors at MCU
call
to
MIT.
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah.
Throwing a Hail Mary instead of doing a simple screen to get the first down.
Good football reference, Josh. I'm proud of you.
Yay, sports ball! Yay!
What about a local sports team? Okay, so where did we leave off? So Peter's life starts to take a shit because everyone's blaming him for the murder of Mysterio, and that starts to affect not only his aunt's life, it also affects his best friend and his girlfriend's lives. So they can't get into the college they want, and just everyone's just glancing at them and stuff. So Peter decides to, you know, go to Doctor Strange and see if he can use the time stone to, rewind. But then, Strange is like, bro, I ain't got that shit no more.
No more time stone.
But then he's like, oh, fuck it. Let's just have the whole world forget that Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Yeah.
And Peter's like, well, you can't make MJ forget. You can't make Ned forget. You can't make Meg
Oh,
forget.
he's my best friend, Alright, stop fucking with the spell, bro.
Yeah, that was kind of annoying.
Yeah. Like Peter, it's like you asked for one thing and then you're gonna go back on it 100 times. So
Mhm.
Yeah, it makes me wonder how the hell that spell even works, because Strange is doing like all the writing and shit, and just like, oh my god.
That's what uses for doing this
He's a
whole
Chad.
time instead of providing input.
Yeah, he's not
Trav, you use this one for the outro.
Yeah, you guys send it to me.
I can't find it.
If we're talking about AOT next week, we can just be like, hey, yo, look at the new Titan they introduced. Just put up a picture of Mitch. Oh my goodness.
But
Oh, and we learned out that Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme, not Doctor Strange.
Yeah, because
just by seniority.
he got snapped away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when Doctor Strange got snapped away, then Wong had to become the Sorcerer Supreme. Which the only interesting thing that I read was the only thing that I read that was kind of interesting about that is did anyone here watch the Scarlet Witch series?
I had zero interest.
That's fair. But basically, there's a character who mentions that Scarlet Witch is stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme, and at first everybody was like surprised that they would say that she would be stronger than Doctor Strange. But now I guess we can instead realize that she was talking about Wong, and so it's like, that's pretty fair.
Yeah. So what happens after the spells? Oh, they have that. Do they have their fight after the spell or after? They don't have their fight yet.
No, what happens
after the spell? Then we get to the highway when he's trying to talk to the one MIT lady, and we see Alfred Molina's Doc Ock pop up, which is not a major spoiler, I guess, technically yet, because that was in all of the trailers. Yeah. Hello, Peter.
Great trailer. But then we got to see a glimpse of Green Goblin too after Doc Ock was restrained.
After that whole fight.
Yeah.
I thought it was a very very creative way how they stopped Doc Ock too with like the nanobots and stuff. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
How they went onto his arms.
Yeah, I got kind of scared too when I saw the like little bots like surround the claws. I was like, oh my god, he's getting an upgrade right now. What the fuck just happened?
I
was like, how? What?
Yeah.
I was like, that's not good. I guess you need one way to write out the suit of this movie.
Yeah, I think that we all thought that, and it was very interesting for them to twist and be like, oh, Peter still controls it. That's, of course, brilliant.
You dumb bitch.
Yeah, and then we see a glimpse of the Goblin.
Classic Green Goblin.
When he flew in, I was like, dude, let's go, dude.
You know,
Willem Dafoe.
I talked to this about Trav, like, and I want to do this at the end of this conversation, the entire podcast. I want to be like, favorite of the three actors, favorite of the three suits, and then favorite, like, I think my favorite Spider-Man villain of all time, like, after watching this one, it has to be the Green Goblin. It's just so good, man. it made me like remember how good he was in the original Spider-Man movie.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen the original in a while, so I would probably want to like rewatch that performance. But certainly from this movie alone, I would say Green Goblin. Yeah.
He's definitely had the biggest impact, I would say, especially in this movie.
Well, he was the main bad guy in this movie.
Well, if you also think in Tobey Maguire's first movie, he was more than just like the big bad villain. He was also his best friend's father. So you had that awkward,
mentor.
like Thanksgiving too, where they're like finding out about each other and stuff.
Well, in the original, Osborn is basically Tobey Maguire's Iron Man. He's basically his mentor, right? Pretty much.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen the original.
Obviously, not as close, but in that similar role.
I gotta say, I'm a little miffed because like, they show a great shot of Green Goblin on the highway, and I'm like, dude, let's fucking go, man, let's go. Green Goblin's back, and like, literally the next scene we see a Green Goblin, fucking Osborn's just like, no, fuck this cool looking helmet. Just breaks it. I'm like, no,
I know,
fuck!
the original helmet.
Fuck, you're gonna look stupid now during the fights because you're probably gonna wear a fucking hoodie over your head or some goggles or some shit. Why would you break the goddamn mask? Mm-hmm. And you know what? Willem Dafoe, has a great crazy face. So I think it makes up for that. But goddamn it, they could have at least had him start the big bad fight with the helmet on, and then like have him break it in like the first 5 minutes of the fight. I don't care. At least it would be there.
How about have Peter break it when he's beating the shit?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if it lasts 2 minutes in the final fight. I just wanted it to last longer than it did in the movie.
The thing that some people said online was that he breaks the helmet and he's trying to like get rid of that dark side of him. And that instead of doing that, he kind of gets rid of the only thing that he had to separate his two personalities of the Green Goblin and Norman Osborn. And as soon as he did that, it just kind of became just Green Goblin. Because then he didn't have a way of like splitting his personalities or whatever. But
I completely forgot about that.
That definitely was a bummer. That costume is fantastic. And
yeah, it was disappointing.
I'm sure a lot of people wanted more of it. So that is unfortunate.
It's not a deal breaker for me. I'm just saying it'd be cool for it to last longer, but it's not. It doesn't break anything for me. What happened? So the spell goes haywire. They come across Doc Ock, and then
Strange pulls off the highway.
Yeah, and then captures Doc Ock. Okay.
And he's already captured
Lizard
at that point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he already has Dr. Connors, and then he recruits MJ and Ned to just look at social media to figure out where the heck other people are. And I gotta say the movie definitely like tricked us in the trailers, I think, because like they showed like the suit, like it was like yellow and black and stuff. So everyone was like thinking it was like a new suit that like Doctor Strange gives like Peter or something. But no, it's just his normal suit just turned inside out, and I was like, oh, that kind of fucking sucks. Like, well, I would have been fine with it if it didn't like have like all the wires and shit, poking out. Because then that makes me think when he's wearing it normally, he just has like wires and like shit poking at him like while he's wearing it,
He does.
It's like, what? That doesn't look comfy at all.
It had green slime on it, Trav. He couldn't wear it right way out. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I couldn't fucking scrub it off hard enough, so they had to just fucking turn it inside out so they could throw it in the trailer. God damn it.
Yep.
And then, just randomly, Aunt May's, he's like, okay, I'll clean it for you.
Well, yeah, she probably fucking Thanos snapped the green out of there,
Yeah. You think Aunt May's got secret powers of cleaning? She's like the cleaning superhero?
Not anymore.
Shit, dude, you're getting way too ahead of yourself.
What do you mean?
So yeah, he goes and he has to then try to confront Sandman and Electro at the same time.
Well, Sandman helps him fight Electro.
I was glad that they didn't show the actor until like he got. Sorry, this is like really late, but until like the last part. Is the actor alive still or what? For Sandman.
Sure.
Pretty
sure
sure.
he is.
Because they show.
There were new lines. There were certainly new voice lines.
Yeah,
but
but
yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody on the internet pieced together some stuff to show that like not all, certainly not all, because there's all kinds of new scenes. But there's
go
a
ahead.
large portion of the Sandman stuff that is like certainly resembles footage from Spider-Man 3.
Are
No.
So
you
it's
reading
potentially just like
read what
reused
Alex said in the
footage.
chat?
No,
Read what
because
Alex
I was
said in
gonna
the
say
chat.
when he was getting snapped out of the fucking movie, it literally showed shots from like the
Yeah.
last scenes in Spider-Man 3 because I recognized them because I was watching like clips beforehand, so that
Yeah,
looked
that's what
exactly
Alex
familiar.
Alex was saying in chat. They saying they never actually signed him.
So they can use his
Yeah, it
voice
was, like
still.
reused footage.
I'm assuming for like the new voice lines they got someone that could do a very good.
Yeah, see,
impression
that's
of it.
what. Well, I saw it as like a bad sign when he wasn't like he was
human.
just still sand by the end of it
Yeah,
because in
for a long
Spider-Man
time,
3,
yeah.
whenever they had an opportunity to just have the dude standing there, they just had the dude standing there, So that's what threw me off. I was like, ooh, something's going on. Either this motherfucker's dead or they're gonna do like a deep fake of him or some shit. So yeah, but then Electro comes back from The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
He actually has
They gave him a
skin
body now.
again.
They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't do like
a
the.
body again.
Yeah, they didn't do like the ridiculous
The
like
weird
blue stuff.
blue
Like,
and
I'll be
stuff.
honest, I was kind of fine with the design in Amazing Spider-Man 2. I didn't really care. Do you really want Jamie Foxx running around like a fucking green skin tight suit with like a fucking lightning bolt and shit, over his face? Like, I think his new design in this movie is great. I was fine with it in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And it does make sense why it changes in this movie, because in the Amazing Spider-Man universe, the power grid's completely run by like Oscorp. So, and then in this universe, it's completely run by Tony Stark or Stark Industries. So it's like probably a different type of energy they're putting through the grid. So
Is Oscorp even a thing in the MCU?
no, not that I don't think it's a thing. So it definitely makes sense why it changes.
It is now. It is in the MCM, the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse.
Yeah.
But not in like Peter Parker's universe. No, there is no Norman Osborn, any of that.
Yeah, so I wasn't too annoyed about his redesign. I'm just glad that they showed him blue originally and then they had him switch to the new design. I was like, thank you. Okay. We're good. We don't have no bullshit where people are just changing looks just because they feel like it.
I know, like, clearly, I think one of the biggest plot holes that you were hooked up on was, like, Edith and the footage not being utilized there. The thing that I can't get over still, and it is just that Electro never knew who Spider-Man, or he never knew Spider-Man was Peter Parker. And that is, like, the fundamental part of the spell, is that it's everybody from every universe who knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man gets pulled in.
I never learned that
universe. Well, because I mean, look at the spoiler alert. Look at the end of the film. He goes, "Oh, I thought you were black."
Oh shit, you're
He didn't even know that he was Peter Parker, right? And the only thing that I can think of is that he is giving an explanation of right before he died, and he says something about like becoming one with a bunch of data or some shit like that. And so like, if he somehow was fed the information that Peter Parker equals Spider-Man without knowing who Peter Parker is, but that still is like a lame-ass way to do it. And so I really honestly don't know what their explanation is for Electro, because he just didn't know.
I really don't think Electro knew who Peter was. The only person I think in Amazing Spider-Man that knew that, well, Lizard knew, and his friend Harry, Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
It's either Green Goblin or Hobgoblin. I would just say Hobgoblin because I don't want to have it relate to Willem Dafoe at all.
That's true. And it is Harry Osborn, so that's fair.
Okay, we can't use the excuse that people are smart enough to figure it out. They never explicitly told us that Electro knew that Peter was Spider-Man. They just threw him in there. Fuck it. They were like,
he makes a good villain in the movie and stuff, and I'm not bashing that. It's just that I just don't understand what kind of an explanation we're supposed to get then if We literally have it spelled out to us in the
So-
exposition from Doctor Strange. It's everybody who knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
People
And
on Reddit,
we're all sitting here thinking like, does he?
people on Reddit are saying the data thing that he found it out
Yeah.
as he was downloading data.
People say it's because Harry told him, but fucking he was dead before Harry showed up. Harry figured it out right when he showed up.
Maybe Harry told him like off screen before the final fight.
No, Harry found out Peter was Spider-Man when he showed up to the final battle because he saw
Oh,
Gwen
yeah.
and then he looked at Spider-Man and went, Peter, and
Oh.
he was already fucking dead.
Oh.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense unless you want to say some bullshit that fucking. Yeah,
as his electric particles were dissipating into
the fucking neurons from
universe.
Harry's fucking brain went into the data stream somehow, and then he figured it out.
Time out.
Right.
Oh wait, no.
He was dead. I'm right on
Listen,
this.
I was about to. I know you're right about that, but I was saying, the entire plot point was that in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 that Harry was trying to get Spider-Man's blood, but Peter was just saying that he was friends with Spider-Man, not that he was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, we could stretch that Electro possibly had some understanding that there was a relationship between Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because
Right. And he
he
just
took
didn't know
pictures
who
of him.
Peter Parker was.
hmm
He just knew the name.
Okay, if
So
we
that
want to
was
stretch
good
it that far, fuck it. You know what? The spell got that fucked up that they're like, let's take this lizard guy. Oh, who's this scientist? Oh, he also worked at Oscorp too. Fuck it, let's grab him too, right? Because fuck it, right? So, but then they all get pulled into their jail cells in Doctor Strange's place.
Mm-hmm. Then, I th-
And then they caught a tree. Thank God.
Okay,
the
this
secret
is the
member of the
part.
Sinister Six.
So let's just skip all like Doctor Strange's gonna make that box, that kid that sends them all back, whatever. And they're all like, "Well, but we died to Spider-Man. We can't go back."
Mm-hmm.
And Peter's dumbass is like, "Oh, I can't kill these people, bitch. Just fucking, you're about to ruin the entire fabric of space time, man. Just send them back."
But we could save him.
Morals, man, morals.
Doesn't help that his Aunt May was telling him, like, you know,
Yeah.
she was the angel on his shoulder.
Reinforcing that you gotta be the savior. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, I was thinking about this while I was watching the fight between Peter and Strange. Can we just like, as long as Doctor String, what the fuck? Who the hell? Is that?
He was in strings, yes.
He's
As
like a
long-
Class C hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as Doctor Strange has his fucking magic ring, can we stop the argument of who's the strongest Avenger?
What?
Doctor Strange,
Mm.
when Doctor Strange has his fucking ring, he is 100% the strongest Avenger.
I mean, all of the wizards have one of those sling rings.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
like-
required for him to open portals and stuff, though?
Yeah, you have to have the ring.
That's
That's
how
why
he does
Ned.
it.
That's why Ned could open portals.
Well, I mean, I thought that just helped him, you know?
No,
Yeah.
he needs
Well,
the ring.
the dialogue would have us believe that Ned had the potential to be a wizard, or he says something about like magic running in his family. That's why he was like able to pull it off, even though he had never done any kind of practicing of like actual magic or wizardry before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Strange needs that sling ring in order to open the portals. Yeah.
But,
Even I'm pretty sure in Doctor Strange 1, they go into the mirror dimension and there's the bad guy is in there. And I'm pretty sure they take away the bad guy's sling ring and then they try to escape before he can. So, like, if that big bad guy can't even get out of there without one, then we can assume, I guess, that Doctor Strange can't. At least without extreme,
like
you
Doctor Strange is like Spider-Man is probably the only Avenger that could counter Doctor Strange in the mirror dimension because of his spider sense. Like Doctor Strange
Yeah.
can literally do. It's like he can do anything. He can create and
Except
make
grab the
anything.
fucking box, I guess. Let me
Peter
just.
needed 17
Dude,
kids.
this it annoyed me so much because like Peter gets hit by a fucking train during the fight, and then he like drops the box, and then of course instead of just like doing some like magic shit, like okay, he just goes like I got it, heads up, heads up, heads up. Oh, he fucking grabbed it again. I'm what? All right, time to summon more fucking trains, bitch. I'll get it
They
this
def-
time.
They definitely nerfed Strange to make so that Peter could win the fight.
Yeah,
So,
Well, I don't
but-
think that Strange was
beat him
going
with the
all
power of
out
math.
That's that too.
against.
He was-
That too.
yeah.
If Stranger,
He didn't want to hurt
100%,
Peter that much. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think like my favorite Avenger is Thor, and Thor it's always like it was Thor or Hulk the strongest Avenger. There's no shot. Strange is the strongest.
I like how we say
Yeah.
Strange was holding back, and then he throws like fucking 20 trains at the dude.
Chuck Strange at a 17.
Well, he knows. He
Mysterio
knows
tried to
that
kill them with one.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
I
Peter wins with the
think-
power of science. He gets the cube back, and now he decides to, we're gonna cure everyone. He's gonna be Oprah Winfrey up in this bitch, going like, "You get a cure, you get a cure, you get a cure," and then we're gonna send your bitch ass back, and hopefully you don't die this time.
Wait, I'm gonna be honest. I was actually really annoyed when they were doing the cure things because I was like, this kind of feels like just a sitcom. It kind of feels like this is like the biggest Spider-Man movie ever made, and they're just hanging out in Peter's apartment or Happy's apartment, making
They
doing
all sign
doing
up,
science
they're
effects.
chilling, They're just chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell's happening?
Are these your Legos?
Where's like the laugh track and then the bass in the background going like boom 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 boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's the Family House fucking theme? Everywhere you look, everywhere's a house. Yeah,
Rest in peace.
yeah,
Rest in peace, Bob Saget.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Damn, you're right.
Now I'm
But,
sad.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I mean, obviously it was necessary for the ending of that whole sequence because that was a big one. All that escape.
Before we get to that, I guess slightly further ahead, we can say that not every one of the villains is cool with just being cured. Not all of them wants to do that, and it's kind of kicked off by Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. The fight sequence that ensues between Peter, Spider-Man, and Norman Green Goblin is, I was just like the whole time I was just like mouth agape, just like in awe of all like the way that it was shot and everything about it. And again, you think Trav, you were alluding to it before, like his Willem Dafoe's crazy face.
Oh yeah, it's fucking great.
Like, Peter is beating him up, just
Yeah, he's
punching
just
him in the
taking
face.
punches, and then
yeah, at first he is like obviously in pain, and eventually he just does this crazy face.
no, he
that's
he
like,
gets popped, and he's just like ah!
super like Joker vibes.
It's
Where
fucking
just
great.
Like, he's just living.
Willem Dafoe was
living
born for that
Peter
fucking
being
part.
So angry. Oh my gosh, it was just so awesome to see that, and then so awesome to hear that apparently when they approached Willem Dafoe about doing this movie, one of the first things he said was, I want to do more of my own stunts, because he didn't do as many of them in the Tobey Maguire film.
He's fucking
And
send it.
so I think that's badass.
I was just getting kind of pissed because they kept
So
breaking people's fucking windows. I was like, this is a real dick move, guys. They break Happy's
Busting
fucking
through
windows,
floors.
and I'm like, oh, they just fell down a story. Oh, they're gonna break that fucking window, aren't they? Yep.
Because you know that
They
apartment.
lose the deposit there.
That's a fucking expensive apartment.
Yeah, I know,
Really shitty.
it sucks.
Yeah.
I was like, I was getting upset, and then they're like, I didn't care when they broke the floor and stuff. I was just getting mad with the windows. Like, well, it's fucking winter, man, isn't it? It's gonna be cold as fuck out there. But
No.
then,
What? Wait,
Right.
I want to say something about that fight. I don't know why I forgot about this. I totally forgot about the Goblin serum. So I thought like Green Goblin was Norman Osborn was just an old man that flew around on a thing with like I thought he was like Batman, right? No superpowers.
oh,
Totally
no.
forgot that he was like a superhuman with his serum.
Yeah,
So I was like Spider-Man just beating the shit out of an old guy.
no,
but-
he's jacked, man.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
No, he's jacked as fuck, so he's able to hold his own against Spider-Man pretty much.
Wait. Alex has a good point. Why the hell did Doc Ock run away if he was just gonna come back to help later?
He was chasing.
Why?
He was fucking
He might
chasing
have chasing
Sin.
the
I don't
others.
fucking know.
I don't recall.
He was
No,
trying to
I
grab
do,
sand.
I do not
Fucking-
recall.
That's, I don't know.
Because at that point, he did have the chip in to make him.
Yeah, he was a good guy. He was a
again.
good guy already.
I
But I
think
don't
I think
remember
Electro
why.
I think Electro shocked him out and was pulling him away or something. 'Cause
No,
I-
'cause there's a scene where you see Electro fly away. Electro did shock him to like
yeah, and pushed him
negate
out.
him. Didn't push him out because there's a scene where Electro flies away, Sandman flies away, and you see Doc Ock like swinging on his tentacles away into a different building.
Well, if I don't know if I'm right here, but I just remember Electro pushing Doc out of the apartment, and then he like grabs the edges of it, and that's when they like fly away. So maybe Doc's chasing after Electro.
Maybe.
Or weren't the police and shit, weren't they all coming over? So maybe he just didn't want to be there when it happened. Like,
Or
Maybe.
you know, someone saw the explosions and shit, and they were like, okay, we should probably call someone about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it's more likely that he just noticed all of the police and everything and just fled because that would have just been more complicated.
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah, the fight between Green Goblin and Spider-Man ensues, and it ends up resulting in the death of Aunt May.
The Harry Potter in the audacity of this bitch to fake us out with, oh, she's totally dead, and then she gets up and we're like, oh, thank God she's fine. And no, just kidding, she's actually dying. I was like, I can't take this. You can't be doing this to me. This is too much stress and this cortisol. I can't be doing this.
I liked it though because that's what would actually she wouldn't have felt that there was a fucking hole in her side or whatever because the adrenaline would have. So.
Yeah, am I bad for like being like, please die, please die, please
Well,
die,
I knew.
please die?
Well, I didn't want her to die, but like after the goblin threw the pumpkin bomb, I knew she was dead. Like even when she got up and was like, yeah.
I think someone had to die there. I honestly think it was so stupid.
This-
Kind of like what you were saying, Mitch. Like how the whole thing with like all of them having a slumber party together at their
Mhm.
place. That was so stupid in my opinion. Like, yeah, it shows a lot that he's like a naive kid at the same time. Like, yeah, he's super smart, but he's still a kid and he makes bad decisions, and he had to learn from those consequences. Unfortunately, May died because of it, but I think something drastic had to happen there to really make him feel that loss.
Because the MCU Peter hadn't had his
Yeah,
Uncle
that's-
Ben moment yet.
Well, that's what I was gonna mention. The one thing that's really annoyed me about MCU Spider-Man is that there's never been a consequence for his actions. Like in original Homecoming, the whole bank job, you know, lasers got shot into this fucking guy's store, and he was able to just run into there, pick the guy up and the fucking cat, and he just left. You know, dude lost his store, but no one died. Even with the Vulture too. The Vulture, you know, still lived. Like, Peter just pulled him out of the wreckage. And Iron Man just died because of Endgame. So it's like, he's never really faced any personal responsibility for, like,
'cause
his actions.
that's because it's not a Disney movie, but it is a Disney movie. You know, they don't want to make it super dark. But this one, they were like, you know what? Never mind. Let's make it dark.
The thing that's bugged me the most, though, is, I think, honestly, even still, even when, you know, spoiler alert, other people are talking about their
Wait, we're
Uncle
talking about
Bens,
spoilers?
we don't, yeah.
Fuck
we
this
don't,
shit.
We don't hear anything about Tom Holland having an Uncle Ben or, like, what happened to his Uncle Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
are we, honestly, I don't even know at this point if we're to just assume there was never an Uncle Ben
There
for
was.
that Aunt May,
No,
or
there
if he
was.
just
There
had
was.
Aunt May.
In
ahead.
Homecoming, right?
No, in Far From Home,
Oh.
Peter's suitcase that he used had BP on it. So Ben Parker.
Mhm.
So
So
that's
we-
like the only like hint we get of Ben. But it's, you know, it's
Yeah.
the Spider-Verse, man. There's so many different fucking Spider-Man. Everyone has their own different story. This one just didn't have the Ben Parker, you know.
We-
For all I know, he was a
And
deadbeat.
I wish that I would know, like, what the heck happened, because then it's like, why that loss of Uncle Ben didn't really affect him at all, and then
Maybe he never met.
May is a super big deal.
Maybe in the MCU he never met Ben. Maybe Ben died before
Yeah.
Peter's parents died.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, for all we knew, Ben Parker was fucking Iron Man.
Maybe he's happy
Holy
with the
shit!
Fucking Iron Man.
No,
fucking comma Iron Man.
Oh.
he could be both.
I think
Fuck
that's.
it.
I think
There's an
that's-
infinite amount of multiverses out there, so there is technically a universe where Ben Parker is Iron Man, and there's another universe where Ben Parker fucks Iron Man. Yeah, mind fucking blown.
We know frighteningly little about the multiverse. You're right.
Yeah, that's why Strange is like, yeah, I'm not opening that fucking can of worms, dude. I don't want to see Iron Man get fucked, and other people I don't want to see Iron Man be Iron Man.
He didn't really like Tony.
So where we leave off? Oh, so Aunt May dies.
Aunt May is freaking dead, and it was sad.
I did love the shot though of the aftermath where like Spider-Man's just standing in the rain and Jameson's just talking shit about him. It's like it just really shows how it's like no matter what happens with Spider-Man, he's always, in the bad light of people sometimes. You know?
Can we talk about Jameson? How he's just a multi-dimensional teleporting like wizard or something?
Yeah, I know. I mentioned
He's the
I
same
mentioned
dude from the first one.
I mentioned this to Mitch at the end. It's like, how the fuck is J.K. Simmons his name?
Yeah.
So how the fuck is J.K. Simmons in Sam Raimi's trilogy, and then he's in fucking MC1? Alex, shut up. Time yourself out.
Infinite possibilities, Trav. What can I say? That's
He's
just what it is.
he's a multi-dimensional jumping wizard. That's what I
Time
think.
Lord.
That'd have been funny if they
Just
showed
like
a scene
how-
where Tobey Maguire like points at the fucking screen line.
I was hoping we were
Hey!
gonna get that. Yes.
The
I was
fuck?
hoping.
You're here too. I can't get away from you. What the
Exactly.
hell?
I guess
I literally
that's-
traveled dimensions and universes, and I'm still dealing with your ass. Fucking Lucina.
I guess that's just like how, the other Spider-Men have their, Toby has an MJ and a Gwen Stacy, and Andrew has a Gwen Stacy. Tom has an MJ. Yeah, I know. Tom had a Joe Jana James, or that fucker's name.
Honestly,
And so did Toby.
I don't think we saw Jameson in the Amazing Spider-Man. For all we know, it's J.K.
I
Simmons
don't
as
recall.
well.
No.
It is. It's J.K.
Probably is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Jim and Junk.
That he's the only J. Jonah Jameson.
Yep.
You know what? That's how it should be.
He is the one constant
He-
between
he
universes.
should be the one
It's
constant.
always him.
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Yep.
I will
Yep.
not bitch about it.
Okay, now let's talk about the introduction of the Mad Lads. That was so good, dude. It was so fucking good.
Let's freaking go.
Bring us to Peter, and
Yeah.
then
Hey, Peter.
oh my god, it was so good.
I'm curious because you guys saw it a lot later after release, at least compared to Yusuf and I. Were people like hooting and hollering and clapping when they showed
Not
Andrew
really,
and Toby,
no.
or no?
Not really.
The guy next to us though was a complete Spider-Man fucking
Yeah.
nerd. Every time they said something like, "No, you're the Amazing Spider-Man," he's like, "Oh no, oh my god, he said
Yeah.
the fucking thing.
Yes.
He said the
It was-
fucking thing." And it's like,
It was
Jesus,
so
man,
cool.
I'm glad you're having
That's how
fun.
I
You know.
felt. That's how I felt the whole time.
It was so cool because when Toby is talking to Andrew, he's like, "You're pretty amazing. Like,
Yes.
you're amazing."
Amazing. Yes.
That was
I picked
great.
up on that right away, and I was geeking out. Yeah.
Yeah, I was very
I
happy
saw
to
it-
see Andrew Garfield return. He was definitely my favorite Spider-Man. And then they opened another. I loved how he was like, "All right, I know you're not trusting," and he went like,
Mm-hmm.
Crawl around. This is fine. This is enough. Pick up that cobweb." You know, it was great.
I saw it several days after the release of the film, and I was glad that there was still like a large number of people who were still very excited to see the film, because I didn't see Endgame until quite a while after it released, and by that point I felt like the atmosphere in the film, when like super cool things were happening, not a lot of people were like getting super excited.
Yeah,
So
this
like
is my
I
third
didn't,
time fucking
like,
watching the
scream
movie.
out, even when like Cap picks up Thor, or when Cap picks up Mjolnir, like I was internally, I was just screaming my head off, but I felt like I couldn't do that. But luckily, like the energy was super high when I saw this movie, so I was glad that people were just like hooting and hollering when they showed
Alex.
Andrew and when they showed Toby.
Because I saw Endgame with Alex. Alex, the theater that we saw it in was popping, right? Like people were cheering and screaming during Endgame. I remember I was just crying. I was just crying tears of happiness. I was like, this is so fucking awesome. But,
So, moving on. Then after Andrew Garfield makes his appearance, that opens another portal, and sure enough, I was like, let's fucking go. Is that the OG? Come on. Then Tobey Maguire walks out where everyone's like, yeah, fucking sweet. And the guy's like,
just some guy. It's some guy.
That's not Tobey, that's fucking Spider-Man.
yeah, Alex, yeah. I know, yeah, no. The dude next to us was loving every second.
I was fine with the guy. He never annoyed me though. I was happy he was enjoying himself. Yeah. So then, it was kind of like it was kind of weird to me because like Toby looks at Andrew and it's like, wait, you're not his friend. Like I understand, like he probably watched like the news and stuff. He's like, oh, Spider-Man's getting fucked over, but it was like weird. Like it was like instant too, you know.
Yeah.
I think
I don't know.
They had
like I had to think about it for a little bit. It wasn't like obvious that he should know because he was probably in this universe for a couple days now.
Yeah,
Probably digging
didn't
information.
Didn't they like shoot webs at each other when they first saw each other or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then
so it was
Toby
kinda
shot
like
his
how-
thing.
It was kind of like how in the Spider-Verse, the animated Spider-Verse movie where they like could sense each other's spidey senses. I think that they just like
No, I don't
sense
think
each
that
other.
was it. I don't think that was. I wish that what it was in the movie, but it wasn't. Tobey Maguire just noticed his Spider-Man suit, and he was just like, "Wait, that's not Tom Holland." So then they started shooting webs at each other, and then they were like, "Oh, you're fucking Spider-Man too? Why didn't you say it?" He's like, "I'm not gonna fucking tell you anything. What do you mean?"
Yeah. No, I like how both of them were like, it kind of defeats the whole anonymous superhero thing when MJ was like, why don't you just, are you Spider-Man? Why don't you carry your ID on you or whatever?
So then, yeah, we meet up with
Tom.
again at the school.
And this part of the movie was the only part of the movie I teared up, was when Ned and MJ hugged him. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
this is so sad.
I saw a tear going down Ned's face. I was like, damn, dude, that hurts.
This is so
Damn,
sad. I was like,
sad to see that one.
Yeah.
Then you see Andrew and Toby jump down and they're fucking,
I also teared up though when Andrew Garfield started talking about Gwen and how choked up he got. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, shout out to Andrew Garfield.
Man, yeah.
With great power, and then it zooms in on Toby's face. I'm like, oh, say it, dude. Comes great responsibility. I was like, fuck. Let's go, dude. Uncle Bet said it. The day he died. I was like, damn, dude. Literally the whole movie could have just been the three Spider-Man just fucking talking to each other. And I would have watched the movie like 3 times over and I would have been fine with it.
Yes. It could have been 2.5 hours of them just bantering with each other. So good.
Yeah. So then
Did you guys see that apparently like Tom Holland obviously went to the premiere, but because nobody knew yet that Andrew and Toby were in it, they couldn't go to that premiere. But apparently Toby and Andrew like wore not like mask
They
costumes,
snuck into
but
a
they like
theater.
wore hats and stuff. Yeah, and they snuck in to see the movie together. Andrew and Toby went together to watch the movie. I think that's super cool. I'm sure that they would have loved to go like with Tom, but it's just a shame that then they had to keep that a secret from the world still, even at the premiere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. But I mean, they probably got paid.
Kudos
a fuckload
to
of money.
Andrew Garfield for being asked like relentlessly if he was in the movie because he was, promoting Tick Tick Boom, and he had to continually tell everyone that he was not in this movie.
Wait,
Kudos
really,
to
Alex?
him.
Did you see what Alex posted in chat? Apparently, Sony's gonna use Andrew for like the villain universe,
Cool.
I do not know anything
like
about
a
that.
more dark.
Well,
side
I mean,
of
it
Spider-Man.
would make sense. They set up for it then because they were like, I stopped pulling my punches, So he'd probably be
I know a
like,
lot of
he'd
people-
probably act like the superior Spider-Man when Doc Ock took over Peter's body and started being more evil as Spider-Man. So they might go into that comics line.
I
This
know a lot
movie-
of people are vying for an Amazing Spider-Man 3.
That'd be fine with
They
it.
want,
I
they
like
want
the Amazing
Andrew to have a
Spider-Mans.
3rd movie since the others have 3 movies.
I
at
will
least for now.
say, this movie, because I always thought I was like, is it Tom Holland or Andrew Garfield? I was like, which one is it? This movie confirmed for me that Andrew's the best Spider-Man for me. He's my favorite Spider-Man by far.
Mm-hmm. No,
That's fair.
well then, after they hype him up and stuff, they go to the lab and they're remaking all the cures and stuff for Lizard. They got one for Electro and Sandman, and I think that's. Oh no, they also needed Normans, so they got the cures set up for everybody. They had they also had that fucking Spider-Man pointing meme where they're like, Peter, what?
Peter Parker.
That doesn't help. It's the same thing. That was great. And then Toby showed off. He could just, he creates his own web. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, what the fuck is that? He's like, oh, it's canisters for my web shooters.
What?
Yeah, is that? And then Andrew comes like, he's like, is that coming out of you?
Does it come out of other places?
Yeah, no, dude. Their conversation at the Statue of Liberty, dude. So yeah, I would. I don't want to brag, but I fought off a black oozing alien from space. And then Tom's just like, oh yeah, I fought an alien on Earth and in space. He was purple. And then Andrew's like, I fought a metal rhino. Fuck, I'm lame, guys. I want to fight an alien. This shit sucks. He's like, no.
Hey,
like
you're
the
amazing.
meme from.
Yeah, you're amazing. And I was like, because he's the amazing Spider-Man.
It was like the Millers meme with like the four panels, and the last one was just like, wait, you guys fought aliens?
So then, no, they also brought back a meme too, where Toby was like, oh my, it's just my back, because in Spider-Man 2, when he loses his power, he's like, I'm back, and he falls, he's like, fuck my back. So then, no, just the Spider-Man just hanging out was honestly like some of the best shit for me in this movie.
That was the highlight of the entire movie.
It was so good. It was so good.
And I think that a lot of honestly, why you felt like he was like a fan-made film is because there's so much fan service, and that's really that's what they needed to do. I guess almost unfortunately you can say that people's expectations for this movie were so incredibly high, but luckily Marvel was able to pull through and give us a lot of that fan service, and I think they hit the mark with all sorts and we didn't even talk about how that Norman says I'm something of a scientist myself. In this movie too, everybody in the theater when I was there was just like, yeah.
No, I think that's just a consequence of doing a Spider-Verse type movie. Like you have to have it be full of fanfare and references from previous movies and stuff. You can't just have it be on its own. You have to. It's just a consequence of having that movie, because then now people's expectations are so high. They're gonna expect memes from, like, I was hoping Peter would come in and there'd be a fucking pizza on the table and be like, pizza time,
Yes.
that would have made this movie a fucking 10 out of 10 for me.
The dancing.
Yeah, he would have came in like in mid-dance. He's like, I was just in the middle of dancing. Oh, hey, it's pizza time, the best fucking movie ever.
Okay, about the fight though, this is kind of jumping into the fight, but I wouldn't want to talk about it because it was the most memorable part of the fight for me. I damn near threw up in my chair when MJ fell. I was like, they're gonna do it to us again.
And of course they have
Peter,
fucking
and then they had Andrew save her. I was like, and then how scared he was, like he was crying when she was crying. I was like, this is so fucking good.
Are you okay?
Such a good redemption moment for his character, and like hearing Andrew talk about that after like filming it and stuff, it was cathartic even for Andrew Garfield to have that opportunity to save MJ like that. It was just so incredible.
I was like, they're not doing it to us two again. I wanted to throw up. I was like, no, they can't do this again.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys. Did any of you have did some part of you feel like that was going to happen? Because for me, I didn't watch The Amazing Spider-Man going into it, but I just heard that part, like Andrew Garfield losing his MJ, just hearing that, and then seeing how Tom Holland's MJ and Ned went into like it was like this weird scaffolding thing, right? And I'm like, there's no reason they should be here. This is a recipe for disaster. Like something's gonna happen here, and it just kind of clicked, one thing after another. I think she like went for something that fell, right?
The box
She
or something.
she went for the box, and then she like the scaffolding blew up. The Goblin's blast blew up the scaffolding, I think.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I think Tom Holland was like in the middle of something. I'm like, he's not gonna be able to reach her.
No, Tom Holland was reaching for her, and then the Goblin came and grabbed him.
Yeah, like he got swiped away. I'm like, only one person is gonna be able to save her right now, and boom,
I think MJ grabbed like one of the cures. I think he was grabbing Norman's cure, and I was like, how the fuck did you know that was there? Like, seriously? Okay.
Yeah, her falling was shown in one of the trailers, and they really like emphasized like their hands being close together, but him not catching her, and so I was suspecting that this is like that was going to happen, but it was still like just as stressful, and it still was just as exciting to see Andrew pull it off when it happened. Although I was expecting it was just as good.
I was having PTSD because Gwen's death fucking scarred me.
That was bad.
I was like, oh my god.
That was bad.
Because I did not think they were. I had no idea. Never read the comics. I had no idea Gwen died. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So Yusuf, you have not seen the Amazing Spider-Man 2?
No, I was actually gonna watch it right before.
Spoilers.
Someone had the DVDs, and they chose not to show.
Not to bring them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder who that someone is.
Yeah.
Well, then I suggest you do watch it, because I think then or at least see the part of Gwen
it's over.
Stacy, because
She's fucking dead.
That'll make
after the fact,
this whole
it's not gonna be as good.
Meaningful.
I started watching the first one, and I think I have like half an hour left of it, probably even less. And yeah, I think it would have been awesome to watch it beforehand, but I'll probably still watch it. I think it'll be just as good.
It's just good for Andrew's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because just the opening scene of the movie is so fucking good. Him just swinging around, just being like, hello, pedestrians. And then he goes up to the fucking truck with the Russian guy. He's like, Mr. Criminal, roll down. Hey, you call me Spider-Man. Not a shaker? You a hugger? It's like such a great intro to a movie, dude.
Travis is just gonna recite all the dialogue.
Bro, I've been watching fucking Amazing Spider-Man clips like this last week or so. So I'm like hooked on this shit right now.
My favorite part, from what I can remember and from what I've seen, was it was in the first movie. I don't remember every single piece of it, but I remember he was like in the car with this one dude. He like broke into a car or something.
Yeah.
And he was just chilling in the back. He's like, hey, what's up? And the dude was like freaking out, and he was trying to.
Hey,
like,
if you can't steal cars, don't dress up like a car thief. You really think I'm a cop?
Yeah. And he like pointed.
Crawl for the window. Crawl for the window.
On him, and then he was like, "Oh, please don't shoot me."
My one weakness. It's small knives. Oh, that was so easy.
I think that's why I like Andrew Garfield's
He plays such
so
a much better Spider-Man, in my opinion.
Because he's such a little cocky shit, little asshole, and it's so fucking funny.
That's what Spider-Man's all about, is his fucking quippy one-liners.
This is a bit of a tangent, but just since we're talking about Andrew Garfield being a good Spider-Man, what I really love about Tom Holland's costume is that they made the eyes much more emotive with this new CGI costume and stuff. But what I really love about Andrew is that he is very emotive and just a very physical actor, and he didn't need like the eyes and stuff, and he just does such a better job of being like a
his little head tilts and stuff,
physically showing emotions compared to like Tobey's Spider-Man. And although I guess you could argue that Raimi is a more serious movie in general, but just Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, I think, does a really good job of showing emotion even without being able to like show it with his face. Like I saw a clip, Trev, you talk about watching Amazing Spider-Man clips, when he is like in that final fight of Amazing Spider-Man 2 and he's trying to like tell Gwen to back off and keep her out of danger. He's like showing
Stress
all this like
Yeah.
distress and emotion and trying
You
to like, get
should
her to go
be
away and
here!
protect her and shit. And it's just like that's such a good job of showing emotion without being able to show your face. And even if you can't hear the dialogue, you can still just like see him. He's clearly just trying to like protect the woman that he loves, and he's so distressed. So yeah, I really like Andrew as Spider-Man.
Well, one thing I wanted to
love-
comment on before, I do really like Tom Holland's suit in this movie. Like they put like part of the Iron Spider on it. I was like, fuck
Red,
yeah.
black,
When I,
and gold.
yeah, I was like, this is a damn good looking suit, man.
Yeah.
They did a really good job like doing like full circle.
Going back to the fight, I like the callback to the high school fight in Amazing Spider-Man 1 with the lizard. How they were in the science lab.
Mhm.
Oh,
That was a cool callback.
Yeah. And the callback with Toby Spider-Man and Doc Ock seeing each other and Toby saying trying to do better. I think that's a quote from one of
that's from Spider-Man.
films.
No, it's from Spider-Man 2 when he first meets Octavius. He's like, "You're Connor's student. He tells me you're really bright but really lazy. I'm trying to do better."
Yeah, I thought that was
No, it's a direct reference from Spider-Man 2. So
so good. Yes. And I kind of had a feeling that Doc Ock was going to come back and fight with them, since then he had like been turned good and stuff, and so I'm glad that he did come back, because if he just like never came back and the three Spider-Men took care of everything, then I guess that would have been fine, but it was cool to have him there at the end of it all, so then we could get the interaction between him and Toby and stuff.
Alex, I agree with you. I called out to Trav in the theater. I was like, they're playing the original song. They're playing the original theme.
yeah, when they went to the lab,
Oh,
I was
so
like,
good.
you know, I leaned back because I was super happy. I was like,
Yeah.
let's go.
The one thing I wanted in this movie, one thing I was really hoping for in this movie, and I understand why they didn't do it, because they would have had to cast someone for it, and it would have opened up a bag of worms. I was really hoping Miles would have made a cameo. But
They've,
at least
they've
they,
never.
At least,
the
at
only
least they
problem. Go ahead.
at least they mentioned him, like kind of.
Yeah.
Like when Electro was like, "Man, I hope there's a Black Spider-Man somewhere."
Yeah, but
I
then
really wanted Miles to make a cameo, but I knew it was probably.
I'm sure we're
feel-
going to get it at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so because Miles is a great character. But I mean, that just means they would have to cast that Spider-Man like right then and there, and it's like, ooh, you probably want to spend way more time picking out the right guy for Miles.
I'm sure that's it.
Then you have the other Spider-Verse movie coming out too, so I mean, I don't know, maybe we won't have a live-action Miles movie, but
for a little while.
yeah, I mean,
I don't
knows?
think we need a. I don't think we need a like a live action Miles movie like by himself.
Still
I think it would have been
haven't
cool for him, like not even to fight with them, just like see him in like the freaking as the dimensions being ripped up, like see the him animated fly through or something. That'd have been cool.
Like open little window. Little
Yeah, that'd have been cool. But what are you gonna do?
did it just? Was it just me or did that like final fight feel very fast?
It
know?
felt very fast.
Like
yeah.
after
Lot going on.
they were done stepping on each other's toes, you know, they're like, all right, I'm Pier 1, you're Pier 2, and then Andrew's like, I guess I'm Pier 3, and then you know they did like the fucking they did like their web swinging together, and I was like, this is like the coolest shit I've ever seen. I never thought I'd see this
Oh.
shit my entire life.
That's a cool theory that Alex posted. What if Miles is in Tobey Maguire's universe? Because normally, Peter Parker's older when Miles is Spider-Man, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I think
potentially
that
it could be
in
Tobey's
like
universe.
the video game, that's kind of how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, Miles gets his start because the Spider-Man in that world dies, and then Miles takes over. I think it was Ultimate Spider-Man that started that, and he died after Civil War, I think. So then Miles takes the mantle later down the road. But yeah, them web swinging, coolest shit ever. And they like swung off each other and stuff. I was like, let's fucking go.
Well, and while they were swinging off each other, the original theme played for a little bit.
Mm.
It was so cool.
Yeah, and then after that, they're just pretty much like, hey, you know, here's the cure. All right, Sandman's cure. Oh, let's get this shot of fucking the actor from Spider-Man 3. Like, what the fuck? Oh, I guess I'll chill here. And it won't be relevant to the movie anymore. And then Dr. Connors got cured. It was cool listening to dialogue between the villains and the Spider-Man though, with Jamie Foxx and Andrew Garfield. Same with Tobey Maguire and Otto's actor.
Yeah.
And then was that after the Goblin fight?
No.
Or was it before?
Goblin fight was before the Goblin fight.
Okay. And then they had
That
the
was the very end of everything.
yeah. And then they had the really cool Goblin fight at the end. And then just out of nowhere, they just decided to stab Spider-Man. Toby certainly.
I thought they were gonna kill Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I feel like
100% thought they were gonna kill him.
I went with Maddie, and before the final fight even started, she looked at me and she said, "If they kill any of these Spider-Man, I'm gonna have a riot right now." And I was like, "I agree. And so when that happened, she turned to me, and there was just fear in her face. Like, we'd already lost Aunt May, and now this is happening. I was like, they can't do this to us.
yeah.
And then I guess he just kind of brushes it off and says, "I've been stabbed before."
Too bad his Spidey.
When did he get stabbed? I don't remember. Was that
When
in the
he was
original?
holding up the glider.
No.
Oh, you're
before.
meaning
When did Toby get stabbed? That's what I'm questioning. I don't remember.
Didn't he
I
step
didn't
in
remember.
to stop Tom Holland from killing Goblin?
Yeah,
No,
he was
talking about when did he get
when-
stabbed in the original trilogy?
in
Because-
his 3 movies.
Because when Toby gets stabbed, that apparently isn't his first time being stabbed like that. So I don't remember when the first time he got stabbed like that hard is.
Maybe he's not referencing a movie. Maybe he's just referencing.
yeah.
Maybe he's referencing like crimes that he stopped that we didn't see in the films or whatever. You know what I mean? Because Andrew talks about doing things that we didn't see on screen. So maybe Toby is just saying, "I got stabbed by a criminal at some other point in time that was not shown in a film." I don't know.
My
I
guess
can't
is that
remember
it's
when
a
he got
reference.
stabbed
To,
either, in
I'm
honesty. I don't
I'm
remember.
assuming it's a reference to something because it with these types of movies it fucking has to be.
Everything's a reference.
It really has to be. But then Toby gives him the fucking Toby eyes like,
Don't kill him.
don't do it, that's bad, Spider-Man, don't kill. And Tom's like, okay, I'm gonna calm down. Andrew's like, hey, I'm still relevant. Shoo. And then
Yeah.
Norman's cured. And then even after all that shit too, Peter's just like, all right, the fabric of reality and dimensions is fucking coming apart because of the spell got loose. And then Strange was trying to contain it for what he could, and then Pierce is like, what if everyone just forgot who the fuck I was?
I very much so, Yusuf, you were talking about like whether or not you suspected things. I 100% thought that this was going to be how the movie got resolved, because in the trailer they show Peter going like, "Do it," to Doctor Strange, and you can tell it's at that pinnacle time when the space
See, that's
is
why I
ripping
don't
apart
watch
and stuff.
fucking trailers
I
no
kinda
more.
knew that this was how things were going to be resolved, which made it even harder because throughout the movie they're showing how close Peter and MJ and Ned are and how much like they've grown together over the course of the 3 movies. I was like, it's gonna suck when they don't know who he is.
Yeah.
And then
Sure enough.
Part of me was thinking that Doctor Strange would have some kind of like pity moment and be like, I remember what you asked me to do before. I'll at least make sure these people remember you. So I actually was about to call a bluff there when he walked in for MJ work, and I'm like, nah, she's gonna know him. She's gonna remember the promise. Everything will be fine.
no, I knew as soon as Peter promised MJ that he would find them, I knew he would not remind them of him, because I knew their lives would be better without him, and Peter would never put them in danger again.
But
I knew that.
I gotta say, this is why I stopped watching fucking movie trailers, especially Marvel movies. They spoil too much shit.
They do spoil a lot.
Like, I'm pretty sure I can watch like all the Spider-Man trailers and pretty much know the entire fucking movie.
Not this one.
I got a little choked up when I saw Ned and Peter do their handshake one last time.
Yeah,
I was like, fuck, please at least bring back Ned. And then that happened, and then Peter saw the bandage, and I was like, he's not gonna say shit. Okay, it's over.
And fun fact, apparently there have been rumors that the actor who plays Ned hasn't or like isn't signed up to do any future films at all.
Well, they're keeping
know
it.
what
He's
that's
gonna be
all
in the
about.
next Sorcerer Supreme. What do you mean?
Yeah, he's gonna be the next Doctor Strange.
Maybe. I mean, I was as soon as we started seeing him doing magic and stuff, I was so stoked. I thought he was gonna be like a new apprentice of Doctor Strange or something. But now that kind of just fizzled out since
That
they no longer
sucks.
have like a connection.
If he doesn't resign, that's gonna. Well, okay. I guess they could write it off as he's at MIT.
I haven't
He's-
heard
he's
that
away
butt
at
shit, dog. What the fuck did you just type, Alex? Butt shit.
It's I never heard that comma but shit dog.
There's no comma in that shit.
I haven't heard that, but
I never heard that butt shit, dog.
Shit, dog.
We are roasting him for his grammar and punctuation.
The butt shit, dog.
Yeah, okay. Alex made a good point. Okay, because Peter wasn't wearing his mask during the Statue of Liberty incident, right? When he made out with MJ, did they wipe that incident off their mind? Like
He left before the spell took place. I mean,
They didn't forget Peter Parker was Spider-Man. They completely forgot about Peter Parker being a person that exists, period.
But what I'm saying is, if MJ and Ned remember the Statue of Liberty, incident, they saw Peter's face, and then when he walks into the coffee
I
shop,
guess
they're like,
they-
I recognize you.
no.
I guess
What
they
happened
don't
was
remember
that,
them.
well, when Peter was about to swing away, he looked up at Strange, and Strange was like, "Yeah, you gotta go, dog," and then he fucking swung away. So
But that still doesn't explain. Strange didn't wipe their memory of that incident, and Peter was still there.
Yeah, he swung away. He was gone.
He was still there before he did the spell.
No, he fucking swung away, and then the spell took place.
Yes, I know he swung away before the spell finished. But what I'm saying is, if MJ remembers anything about the Statue of Liberty incident, did Strange wipe their
I guess
memories
she
of
doesn't,
that
yes.
incident?
That must be how it worked then. It must remove any memory that
in
leads
relation
you
to
believe
Parker.
Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Or no, any
or
relating
who
memory
Peter Parker
with
is.
Peter.
So yeah,
Yes.
so maybe it wipes all memories with Peter.
Yeah, because even Doctor Strange doesn't know who he is anymore. Nobody. And here's an interesting thing: they mentioned the spell one last time before performing it, and the wording of the spell was specifically, "Every person on Earth will forget who Peter Parker is." There are people who are not on Earth in this universe
Captain
who
Marvel,
know who Peter Parker is.
Captain Marvel,
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury.
Unless we're to believe that he's no longer up on that spaceship.
Wait, did
where
he
we
say
saw
Earth?
him
What?
in Far From Home.
Yeah, he said everybody on
Very
Earth.
specifically said everyone on Earth. Yeah.
Oh.
So. Yeah. But I mean,
No, that's
we're
that.
kind of
That's bullshit. There's no way. It has to
kind
be.
of led
No,
to
it has to
believe-
be. It has to be everybody. It has to be. No, it has to be
We're gonna
because
find out.
What
Travis,
fucking
we're gonna
rules,
find
dude?
out.
What rules are we going
find
by?
out.
Do you know the
Yeah.
handbook of Doctor Strange multiverse?
yeah, but I
Multiverse
know
spells?
what infinite means, and if
Do
there
you
is
have a
one
handbook?
Nick Fury that knows that Spider-Man is fucking Peter Parker, that means there's an infinite amount of Nick Furies that know it. So it has to be a clean slate. It has to be everybody, everything.
I'm just saying that was the wording of the spell. That's all I'm saying.
Weren't those baddies coming like right at the end when Doctor Strange was like performing the spell at the end? Weren't they coming from like someplace off of Earth?
They were coming from different
Other
dimensions.
Yeah.
universes.
Other universes.
The
Yeah.
multi-dimension. Yeah, that's fucking bullshit, man. That shouldn't work.
No, I agree with Josh 100%. They're gonna pull some Disney bullshit, and Nick Fury's gonna remember.
That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy.
I'm not saying it would be good, and I'm not saying that it would have.
I'm just
zero
saying
problems.
that's
I'm
dumb.
just saying that's the wording.
I'm
of
not
the spell.
disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just saying that's not the way they should have done the spell. It should have been a clean slate. But now they're
but,
gonna have some
you know,
bullshit where it's gonna be like fucking. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, man.
but
Yeah,
going back
Alex
to-
made a good point. Alex made a good point. Spells are specific. That's what broke the spell in the first place. Is that they got too vague with it, right?
Yeah.
No, they got too specific. What do you mean? They kept changing
Or
the spell.
they were
Having
trying to
this-
be keep changing the specific specific. I can't fucking speak. Words are hard. Specifications of the spell.
trying
But
to-
shit, dog.
trying to keep it on time. I just wanted to get back to what Mitch said about MJ.
Well, what's
because
specific
it is,
about? It's pretty vague to just be like, hey, every motherfucker forget Peter Parker. There you
On
go.
Earth.
Yeah, but that's too specific. I don't know. I'm fucking losing my mind over this shit.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fucking stupid.
getting back to what Mitch said.
Saying
I
Doctor
do
Strange
think
a
it's
fucking
like
idiot.
any memory that you had with Peter Parker is just gone. But at the same time, we're led to believe that there's still some traces in her memory because she still has that necklace on her, and so she knows that's a special necklace. She knows it's important, but she doesn't know like where she got it or how.
I just realized that Thor and the Guardians would remember who Peter is too.
Yep.
So
With Thor?
yeah, Thor met Peter at Tony's funeral. I'm pretty sure Thor met.
I mean, sure. The Guardians would hopefully, potentially, very much remember Thor. Eh.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's certainly indication that she still has like some sort of memory, even if she can't identify why it is she like really likes that necklace. It's clear that she's still wearing it, it's still important to her or whatever. So potentially we will see them reconnect in the future.
You guys are having a fucking white hoodie moment.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure because you did that. I think I was talking, but I think you did that at first, and they saw that you were doing
I
that.
did, yeah. Because I got excited about Thor and the Guardians remembering.
Because
Because the new Thor's coming out, Love and something, Love and Thunder, or whatever.
love and fucking.
Love and fuck.
But shit, dog, love and
Featuring
fuck.
Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher.
Oh god damn, he gonna fuck some
Alright.
shit.
Let's wrap it up. That scene with Happy was sad at the grave.
Yeah, scene
That
with
was
Happy
sad.
was sad, and now we see he made a new costume that looks a lot like Andrew
shiny.
Garfield's.
So
Very
shiny.
Shiny and red and blue, very OG kind of look to it.
Mm-hmm.
Really excited to hopefully see that in a new Tom Holland movie in like 4 or 5 years from now.
Did they say
Alright.
what the title of the next one's gonna be?
Can't find home.
Can't find
But
home.
I'm pretty sure they confirmed that we're gonna have more Spider-Man movies featuring Tom Holland.
I mean, I don't hate Tom Holland. I think this movie's been pretty solid. I mean,
Wish I
Far From Home could suck a dick, but at some
What the fuck did you say?
scenes.
So what did you just say?
I said I wish I was home.
I wish I was home.
Eagles or something.
I wish my aunt was alive.
Dude, I wish my aunt was home.
I wish my friends remembered me. No, but great movie. It was great finally seeing Tom Holland get his new his new suit.
Handmade suit.
Free.
Made with his hands.
Yeah.
Finally made his own.
I mean,
Because
he made one that wasn't shitty. That wasn't a hoodie.
the suit is why I didn't like Homecoming, because the suit basically did everything for him, and I was like, this isn't Spider-Man. Like, what the fuck? Spider-Man's just
Nothing
supposed to
without
rely
the
on his
suit.
senses.
Yeah, that was the consequence of having it after Civil War.
Mhm. Okay, so,
So-
before we wrap up, I want everyone's opinion on favorite Spider-Man and favorite suit. I'll go first. Favorite Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield. Favorite suit, Tobey Maguire's.
Okay.
Yusuf? Trav?
Andrew all the way.
Andrew all the way? Okay. Josh?
I should preface Amazing Spider-Man 2 soon. First one was I didn't hate it, but I wouldn't want to see it again.
Fair. I might be the only one who says it, and that's okay. I really like Tom Holland as Spider-Man because I like it that Spider-Man is a lot younger, and he has the quote-unquote like audacity to call himself Spider-Man, even though he's clearly still very much a boy, but that he grows into that role. And then for suit, I don't know. I really love the Iron Spider suit so much, and I wish that we could see more of it, but we'll probably never see it again. And that's okay.
Yeah, I know I've only seen one of the movies, or not even the full movie, but I think Andrew Garfield's my favorite because I like his banter and pretty witty and stuff. So I think that's probably my favorite one. And then yeah, I agree with you, Josh. I like that suit too. Um, I'm not too well versed in how the suits vary either, but I like that one the most, I guess.
I will say Tom's suit in this movie is my favorite of Tom's suits, though.
His newest one, or
Yeah,
like the one he
The
wore on the
final
whole
one.
Yeah, no, the one
Yeah.
in this movie, with the gold spider on it, was fucking sick.
Yeah.
I thought it was great because they just kind of threw that in. He was wearing his suit he made from Far From Home, and then they just took a piece of the Iron Spider from the nanites from Doc's arm, and just made like a spider. And I was like, that is so fucking cool. It is so cool because now they have a chunk of the Iron Spider, so Iron Man's not like 100% gone on the suit, and they still have Tom's suit that he made from the previous movie, which I think looks cool.
Yeah, I agree. Alex is a Toby stan all the way, apparently.
Yeah, he's a Homer Simpson for fucking Tobey Maguire. It's fine.
Marge.
Yeah,
Lord.
Tom's suit in this one was fucking
That's
great.
fucking good. It's a good suit.
Great.
I really liked it.
So dope.
Hey,
Yep.
no vulgar language in chat. Alex, time yourself
Well,
out.
can we get a timeout for this guy?
Yeah, can we time out, Alex, please? Alex, time yourself out. Okay, so final thoughts, really. I know I said final, but just imagine I said final.
Fucking
Really,
great movie.
definitely my favorite of the fucking Thomas and Jerry, fucking. I can't fucking.
Tom Holland
All right.
Spider-Man movies.
I mean, it's my third favorite Marvel movie. So
No, it's definitely the best of the Tom Holland trilogy.
Agreed, easily.
But it's not just because Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, and I should say I definitely love that it taught Peter actual fucking responsibility, and this was definitely I came out of that theater thinking that was the end of his origin story, really. He's finally Spider-Man. Like, it took him Homecoming, it took him Civil War, Homecoming, Far From Home, Infinity War, Endgame, and now No Way Home. It took him 6 fucking movies to finish his origin story, but you know what?
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, and we're gonna have many more. Hopefully, like on wood, we're gonna have many more Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. So I'm excited to see, how they're gonna continue to evolve his story after all the shit he's been through so far.
Yeah, Ned's going to turn into a villain, even after he promised told him he wasn't going to be a villain.
That was before he got his memory wiped by Doctor Strange. So.
And that's what snaps him out of it, calling it right now. Mark it down. Fucking January day 2022.
January day 2022. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know the day. I gave up.
No, that day's January.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So,
All right.
anything
I'm
else you
out for
guys
this
want to
shit.
say?
Hold on, we have to.
No one said that was
let
good.
me,
What is it?
let me
Watch
leave
our
my chair
YouTube.
back a bit. And then I can
Watch our YouTube.
All right.
Watch our YouTube at This Episode Podcast. That's the name of the channel on YouTube. We appreciate you all stopping by. My apartment's really cold. We're gonna head out of here. We've got stuff to do. Hope you all enjoyed. I know we did. Have you clothes?
Am I supposed to do it with my dick? All right, let's try it with my foot.
End stream.
I'm trying.
What's up, guy?
End stream.
Where the fuck's my mouse? I got it. I just highlighted everything.
That was pretty cozy.
On the next episode of This Episode, Trav, Mitch, Josh, and Yusuf talk about episodes 6 and 7 of the Demon Slayer Entertainment District arc. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new episodes. You can watch live at twitch.tv/Dutchery every Monday night. Thank you for watching.